My name's Oscar. This is the first time that I've worked with this group this fall. I would just like to take a quick second before we play the rest of our rep to thank this orchestra for letting me into their community. A lot of them have been in Manus Prep for a while, and when there's a new conductor that shows up, it's a lot. I've been through it a lot of times as a player. I know how it feels, so I'd like to thank them very much for welcoming me in, being nice to me, and for coming to every single rehearsal super duper prepared. This is one of the most responsive groups I've ever worked with. Every single week there's something new, there's improvements that are here. It's super duper exciting to work with these folks. That first piece there was the introduction and Royal March to Carnival of the Animals by Saint-Saëns. If you know the original version, we are missing the piano on this one, right? A lot of the voices and ideas that are in the original version have been traded over to different sections for this. The strings would normally have the march. All of them would be playing it, but in this arrangement, just the cellos got to do it. The cellos also got to do the piano roars along with the bassoon. Awesome stuff. Wonderful little way to kind of get things started here. The next piece, we're going to completely take things down a notch. We're going to relax a little bit here. Yukiko Nishimura's music has been really, really popular lately. A lot of orchestras are doing her music. Also, a lot of concert bands are doing her music. She's a Japanese composer who came over to America to study composition. She studied a couple of places, but primarily in Florida. While she was there, she got a lot of influence from popular song, even rock and roll music. So you can hear some influences of the forms or maybe the harmonies that you would hear in even like a pop song or something like that in her orchestral music. Now a lot of the work that she does is in film, TV shows, background tracks for vocalists, and of course orchestras. This is a beautiful little piece called Sweet New Moon. I hope you enjoy it. All right, our next piece, we're going from a Japanese composer to a Mexican composer. Moncayo is kind of up there with Revueltas and Chavez as one of like the big three Mexican nationalism in classical music. This piece, Huapango, is based on a style of music that really shouldn't be written down. So it was a big challenge when Carlos Chavez talked to Moncayo about composing this piece. It's a big challenge to turn a form of music that really shouldn't be notated into something that an orchestra can follow, that a full orchestra can follow. We're doing an arrangement of this piece that cuts some pretty big sections of the piece. The piece overall can be quite long, and there are arrangements of it that are even longer than the original version. This is kind of a shorter version of it, but you get a lot of the main ingredients that make this piece so exciting. We were in 6/8 for this piece, so we're feeling the entire thing in 2. We're feeling things as 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 for pretty much the whole piece. But there are a lot of moments where, and this is something that shows up in a lot of Mexican music for orchestra, where another group will fight back with a grouping of 2, 2, 2. So while we're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, there will be a group that's going 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Kind of almost like a little battle of meter that takes place in the orchestra. And you'll hear that it gets passed around a lot. There are some moments where it's really obvious, and there are some other moments where you really have to be paying attention if you want to catch it in some of the more subtle places where it's used in the pulse. Super duper fun piece. Before we get started with it, I want to thank my orchestra managers who make all of this possible. The setup and teardown of this orchestra is really, really, really important. It's what keeps things running smoothly. So thank you, managers. Thank you for all of the work that you do. Here is Huapango. So we're going to go from a fast Mexican piece to a fast Russian piece now. I don't think that this piece needs any introduction, but before we get to it, thank you for coming today. Thank you for sitting through all three orchestras, listening to everybody, and being supportive of every single student here. Can we have another round of applause for all three orchestras, please? The orchestra is waiting for me to tell them to swag up, so go ahead and swag up. Of course, we're going to be playing the Trepak from the Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky's most famous work. You guys look great. It's not going to interfere with how we play, right? Okay, cool. Thanks again so much for coming today. It's been a real pleasure working with these students. I can't wait to get back to work in January. We'll see you after the concert.